everybody fighting over this religion shit. You understand me? The Christians say Jesus is the messenger. The Muslims say it's Muhammad. I say, who gives a fuck who the messenger is? Did you get the message?
Welkom, één en al. Dit is het programma Eigen Pad. Deze show bespreekt de onderwerpen van het menselijke bewustzijn, moraliteit, manipulatie, natuurwetten, het occulte en alle kwesties die de vrijheid van de mensen op aarde beïnvloeden. Mijn naam is Glenn Tram van thegreatworkexperience.com en ik ben je gastheer voor vandaag. Welkom allemaal. Groetjes. Laat me kijken. De wind. Hoe gaat het? Bonochi. Hoe gaat het, Janice? Hoe gaat het? Dios de Jesus. Ejército de Dios Jesus. Leo, hoe gaat het? Welkom mensen. We hebben vandaag natuurlijk een speciale gast. Maar voordat we daar beginnen, wil ik een aantal dingen zeg maar, duidelijk maken. Laat me even kijken als ik mijn sheets erbij kan pakken. Laat me heel snel even eroverheen. Even kijken. Dus mijn materiaal kan je eigenlijk vinden op thegreatworkexperience.com. We hebben de afgelopen tijd, 2 weken lang, hebben we heel diep in de matrix gegaan. Wat het is eigenlijk. Bonochi, hoe gaat het? Wij hebben, maar op mijn website kan je natuurlijk de podcast vinden, artikelen. Je kan media. Je kan RSS feed, dat is eigenlijk een link. Je klikt daarop, krijg je dan de link daarboven. En dan kan je dan zeg maar in je podcastspeler kan je dat invoeren. En dan kan je het, al die podcasts krijg je dan meteen. En dan kan je ze 1 voor 1 luisteren. Begin altijd bij 1. Ja? Aan de rechterkant zie je eigenlijk die kant op. Mijn boeken zijn allemaal in 3 talen geschreven. Nederlands, Engels en Spaans. Voor degenen die dan Spaans spreken, kunnen de Spaanse versie kopen natuurlijk. En Engels voor de Engels sprekende. En Nederlands voor de Nederlands sprekende. Oké? Hoe gaat het, Florencia? Bonochi? Hallo. En ik ga nog... Dag Anna. Bonochi, hoe gaat het? We hebben een speciale actie. Ja? Dat is dat als je gaat registreren, dan kan je dan zeg maar op die link daar beneden. Volgens mij kan je het niet zien, want er zit op dit moment iets eroverheen. Bonochi Anna. Kan je, thegreatworkexperience.com en dan kan je daar zeg maar op s2-prongen.html zeg maar kan je dan je e-mail alleen maar registreren. En dan stuur ik jou zeg maar als wij dit soort shows hebben in de toekomst ook, communiceer ik ook met jullie via e-mail. Ja, dus blijf altijd in de gaten. Ik ga het alleen maar gebruiken voor onze communicatie, niet voor marketingdoeleinden, helemaal niks van daarvan. Het is echt specifiek voor die doeleinden. Oké, we hebben een hele interessante gast vandaag, Marja West natuurlijk. Maar ik ga haar introduceren. Zeg maar, Marja is een... voordat we Marja... Dit is... sorry dat ik te snel met Marja ging. Eergisteren en eergisteren begon de lente-equinox. Of in het Nederlands volgens mij heet het ook de lente-zonnewende. Oké? Dat is eigenlijk de periode waar de daglicht en de nacht gelijk zijn. Dus je kan zeggen 12-12. 12 uur voor de nachten en 12 uur voor de dag. Vanaf de 19e, 20 en 21 zijn we in die 3 perioden van lente binnengekomen. Ja? Het is een hele belangrijke occultische periode. Dus dit is het. Vandaag, en dit wou ik eigenlijk vertellen, want we zijn nog niet zo ver gekomen in onze lessen. Maar het is wel handig om het te vermelden, omdat vandaag, de 22e maart, is een hele belangrijke datum voor de donkere occultisten. Dus wat je gaat zien, vandaag begint een 40-dag periode. Ja? Volgens mij in de christelijke zeg maar, allegorie heb je dezelfde 40 dagen waar mensen gaan vasten, et cetera, et cetera. Dat allemaal goed is trouwens. Ja? Maar in de komende 40 dagen, ja, zal je dan, en ik zal niet zeggen niet alleen maar rondom deze tijd, maar een beetje rondom deze periode sowieso, zal je dan heel veel ongelukken zien. Ja? Heel veel ongelukken meemaken in de wereld. Maar er zijn geen ongelukken. En trouwens, ik heb begrepen dat afgelopen, volgens mij is het de 19e of de 20e, de 21ste, was er een ongelukje met een vliegtuig in China. Oké? Dus hou het in de gaten. Hoe weet ik dat? Een van de dingen die ik wel weet is van Skulls and Bones. Dat is een mystieke orde, eigenlijk een geheime orde in Amerika, waar heel veel presidenten ook deel van namen. Ja? En een van hun favoriete nummers is 322. Dus je ziet ook de Skull and Bones. Je zoek het online, dan zie je Skull and Bones, dan zie je die botten en dan zie je daaronder 322, which is maart 22. Dus het is vandaag. Het is een van de referenties die ze doen. Maar natuurlijk in hun eigen literatuur. En als je erover gaat onderzoeken, dan krijg je dat allemaal te weten. En ik heb ook kennissen en vrienden die dit soort informatie ook allemaal weten. Oké, dus er is al iets gebeurd. Ja? Maar het is altijd rondom deze periode. En wanneer we tot deze thema komen, dan ga ik allemaal al die dingen die in het verleden zijn gebeurd ook allemaal benoemen. Maar ik noem het nu hierbij, zodat jullie weten en dat jullie niet zeg maar in een soort van paniek raken of iets in die geest en gekke dingen gaan doen. Oké? Want dat is de bedoeling. Dat je dan, dit soort dingen moet je weten en dan moet je dan zeg maar op de juiste manier gaan handelen. Maar in ieder geval, Marja West. Marja is een trauma-gebaseerde mind control deactivator. Ja? Ze is een auteur. Ze wil zich niet een guru noemen, maar ze is een spirituele leerkracht. Benoitje Farida. Ook bekend als een wayshower. Ja? Bekend om haar vaak hilarische, ontwapende en opwindende presentaties. Marja's leringen zijn praktisch. Eigenlijk kan je zeggen zelfs herinneringen om je superkracht van focus. Want dat is wat heel veel mensen vergeten te doen. Ze vergeten te focussen. Ja? Aan te spreken en te activeren. Ja? Om het bewuste belichaming van de goddelijkheid buiten de matrix toe te laten. Oké? Het is een geweldige ziel. Ik heb haar vandaag in de show. Ze faciliteert het oplossen van alle vormen van op trauma gebaseerde mind control. Dus als jij vragen hebt over mensen die je kent, die gemanipuleerd zijn of wat dan ook, zij is de persoon om dat te vragen. Zij helpt eigenlijk heel veel mensen om uit die mind control te komen. Ja? Het is een dynamische spreker en presentator, vaak omschreven als scherp, niet politiek. Ja? Ze is niet een politiek persoon net als ik. Ja? Maar ze is ook niet politiek correct. Ja? Dat ook nog eens een keertje. Ze is gepassioneerd, energiek, elektrisch, vurig, magnetisch en grootmoedig. Ik vind haar geweldig. Zij is de auteur van het boek Fucked Wide Open. Zo, dames en heren, appels en peren. Vandaag de gast Marja West. Hi Marja, how are you?
Hello darling. Hello darling, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes? Yeah, I can hear you perfectly, thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I know. I just gave you a very open and very wide presentation about who you are. But I think I'm going to give you the opportunity to express yourself and also tell us a little bit about yourself, because we want to know who Marja is basically, so our audience can hear that and know who you are and what's your expertise and what you have been doing the couple of years, because you have like 200 plus podcasts out there. So Marja is a person that is She is doing, I think, for the third season, her podcast. So she is a very loving spirit. I love her. Look, guys, I am. Some people find me very harsh and very to the point. She is very to the point as well. So I wanted to bring her as well here, so you know that the feminine force is not that loving that people might sometimes think. Sometimes that is also a very educated force. So I love that you accepted my invitation, Marja. So I'm very grateful and very honored to have you on the show. We have already a very let me see a few questions already. Oh no, just welcome. Okay, so yeah, okay, so so
Demons of Microsoft, apparently.
yeah, so we have one person that said the sound is very away. So I don't know if we can fix that, but keep it a little closer. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah. Does that help at all? Does that help at all?
yeah. So otherwise we talk a little bit more louder. It's also
Okay. Okay. I tend to scream, so
you can scream. Don't worry. You're allowed to do everything here, Maria. Don't worry.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah. So this is the Dutch public. They are not so shy. Don't worry about it. So not Americans.
I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
So Maria, just introduce yourself a little bit. Who is Maria? What brought you to this point? To spreading the message. What made you change and become a beautiful soul that you are today? So I just want to hear a little bit more about you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody suggested that I take my earphones off. Shall I do it?
You can do it. Yeah, yeah. Just try it very quickly. No, don't say. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. No, I don't hear you. You plug it back. Plug it back in.
And so
Yeah, now it's good.
you can hear that?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
Wow.
perfect.
How
Yeah.
the fuck does that happen?
Yeah, because I think your mic of your computer is even better. Okay,
Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So that's
So,
good.
that's good. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
I don't understand this shit. I swear I don't understand.
But don't worry, don't worry. This is how it works. This is technology. Sometimes technology keeps us, from doing what we have to do.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Abraham,
Yes, exactly. So my background is I was raised by a psychopath
wow. Okay.
who was she came from very war torn times. My mother is Filipina.
Yeah.
So, and my father's European. So there's a whole mix and they were never together. So she was very upset from get go. Didn't want to have children. And I was always very curious, like kind of in her face. Like, when your mother doesn't love you, you come from a place where you're wondering, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? And what can I do to earn my mother's love? Well, I couldn't do anything right. And so between the rejection and the physical abuse, there was a lot of sex abuse, a lot of incest, a lot of really weird religious bullshit going on. And when we immigrated to America, things just got worse. So what I started to do is I started to fucking escape my life into the sort of fairy realms. I imagined myself to be living in a beautiful realm where I could escape the abuse that I was getting, which included a lot of bruises all over my body, a lot of violence, a lot of name calling, a lot of very, very fucked up stuff that, a child should never, ever have to experience that. So it made me very sensitive to the plight of children. And so as I grew up, I ended up leaving my family home when I was very, very young because I had to get out. At
Yeah.
one point, you decide it's either me or it's her.
Yeah.
And I decided I needed to get the fuck out. Otherwise, she was going to kill me. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you do that, you start noticing that the world is really not the planet. And which began my investigation about, okay, if the world is not the planet, what the fuck is it?
Yeah. So can you explain us that? Because I don't know the audience understand what you mean with the world is not the planet. So
No, but
you
the
will have
world
to,
is the matrix. The world is the matrix. And what is the matrix? The matrix is nothing but trauma-based mind control. It is all about control. And you, Glenn, have been talking about the Matrix movie,
yeah.
and it's all about control.
It's all about control. Yeah. It's
It's
about
not
controlling the mind. The mind.
hypnotized, okay, with trauma. So for the last 35 years,
Yeah.
I have been helping people deactivate their traumas. And it's not just about deactivating and healing trauma. It is about waking yourself up. It's also about realizing that the trauma world that you live in is actually an inversion. It's a satanic inversion of your true divine self and the true divine quantum field creation field universe. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The matrix is not, it's not for you, but the matrix wants us stuck there. So a lot of my work is about not just teaching people that they can heal their traumas and dissolve them and deactivate them. Okay. You can't change what happened. So you have to accept the fact that if you lose your attention, you will always be re-traumatized by something in your past. So that's why I call it deactivation. It's much more accurate because if you own your attention, you know that it is not happening anymore. Okay. But the matrix wants us to be sleeping zombies that were just sound asleep, not questioning reality, and allowing the matrix to define who and what we are. Okay?
So from your perspective, can you explain to us as well what you think are the agents of the matrix? So who are those people who are making sure that we are going to be traumatized and programmed? Do you have an idea? What is your
Absolutely. So what I've discovered is that many millennia ago, there were low vibrational astral plane demons who were searching for ways to not just hijack the planet, but hijack humanity. And what they did is that they seduced very weak-minded but very power-hungry humans who not only wanted eternal youth and eternal life, but wanted to control the planet's resources, control humanity, enslave them for riches, for power, for domination, for all of it. And the price was to give up their sovereignty, to give up their divinity in order for these demons to possess their bodies. Now, if you look at any of the ruling class families, you just pick one out of the totality of human history and the timelines, each of these elite families, you can trace their bloodlines back. And it's not rocket science, nobody's making this shit up. This is absolute factual. And so that is what they have done. And what is the main way to control humanity, to get them to fall in line and to not think for themselves, okay, but to traumatize them? And it starts with your family. Your family is your first trauma cult, okay? And I was not raised in a beautiful family. I know people who were raised in beautiful families. And, more power to you. But for the majority of us,
you are right, because in my podcast I was talking about this as well. It's like the first programming that every child encounters is in his own family, right?
Absolutely.
Because you are born in a culture, and that's why it's called a cult, a culture, a cult.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the first cult that you are going to be born in. So
it's indoctrination.
It's indoctrination. So the first step is basically to get out of that. So culture for me is not important. What's important is truth. Okay, so this is also something, guys. This is perfect because this it's going to the core, like in the meat of the matter. So this is where the program starts. People who think that they are not programmed, if you not awake, and this is also something that I wanted to ask you. So what is the importance to become awake? Because some people, because there's one part in the movie that Neo says, can I go back? When he was awake, he said, can I go back?
Once you start waking up, you
Yeah.
cannot go back to sleep. You can hit the snooze button, and I guarantee you, my friends, your life is going to get more and more fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about it. So the whole point of waking up, what does it mean to wake up? And, we have new age bullshit. We have religion. We've got all this spiritual bullshit that tells you that, when you're awake and you're spiritual, you're special. No, it is your natural state outside of the matrix. So when you wake up, what you're actually doing is you're noticing, oh, you are remembering who and what you are.
Yeah.
As infinite loving awareness and consciousness having a human experience. So what it means to wake up is owning your attention outside of the matrix. The moment you own your attention, you're out of the matrix.
Yeah. So
what waltzes in and out of the matrix and the true quantum field universe is actually your consciousness, your attention. And once you start owning more and more of your attention, that is willfully ignoring the shit shows that you see out in the matrix, in the current screen of any reality, whether it's in the TV or in your own home or outside, whatever. When you start owning more of your attention rather than giving it to the matrix, whether it's on the outside or the shit that goes in your head in reactivity to what's going on in the world, the matrix will lose its hold on you. And they don't like that, which is why most of trauma-based mind control of all the masses is based on divide and conquer. And when they can divide us, we're easy to corral. We're easy to control because we all want to be right.
Yeah, they always present this, what I call the Hegelian dialectic. So it's like who is pro vaccination, who is against vaccination, who is pro abortion, who is against abortion. There's always this division in the public, because the public doesn't understand. They don't understand what truth is. This is the problem.
Right.
And this is something that I talk about a lot as well in my podcast. They don't understand what truth is, therefore they don't understand what morality is. Therefore, they cannot understand that they're even divided. That is a game that are playing with us. So this is a very nice. So what I want you to talk a little bit about is, because I didn't have time to discuss this. How do you present, like, how does the senses, kind of like fool us? Can you
one of the things that happens in trauma-based mind control is that in the matrix, we only have 5 senses in the matrix. In our true divine environment of the true quantum field creation field universe, we have 7 senses. So within the matrix, we're already cut off. We're missing 2. We're missing our intuition. We're missing our generosity and care, so that we can be more robotic, more zombie-like, more psychotic, where we have no empathy and we don't care. So with trauma, our senses of, say, sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch, you cannot rely on them, because once you're traumatized, any one of those can be hijacked into a trigger that renders you unconscious, where you are ready to fight or you're ready to become a zombie and stay that way and not think for yourself. Because when you are a sovereign being, you have to take responsibility for yourself. Nobody's going to take care of you. government is not going to take care of you. All right. And people want a free handout, which is why there are more zombies than there are people who are awake and willing to take responsibility and know that the truth, you can learn the truth, and it doesn't give two shits about how you feel. It doesn't care. Just like nature doesn't care when you're out in the elements, whether, you have a tent or not. If you don't know how to fend for yourself, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
And that's reality.
Yeah, that's so this is very good, but this is also something that I always touch upon, because you have five senses, the senses in, like you say, in the matrix. Okay, so but the five senses, they have I teach it like this. You have three places that can go wrong. So what you perceive can go wrong, can be wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, because if your eyes are defective, you cannot see right.
Yes.
Then you have that information has to travel through a cord, right?
Yes.
That can go wrong, because if that cord is broken, it's the same thing. Even if your eyes are correct, the cord is wrong, your perception will be distorted. And then if it goes to the brain still has to translate what you're seeing.
Yes.
It can be broken as well. So so our five senses are not. So this is because in the Netherlands we have a very high culture of what I call the left brain imbalance, because everything has to make sense.
Yes.
Quote unquote sense. Yeah.
Our minds cannot understand this. This is
No.
a total feeling place. And when you're in the matrix, there are too many fucking distractions.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah.
how they own our attention.
Yeah, because the reason is that they are constantly pushing a narrative, pushing a story to the five senses. Always.
Exactly.
They come continually. It is when Neo was in this capsule and he wake up and I see all these kind of cords in him. This is like having all these cords pushing information.
These are the inputs of the matrix into you.
Yeah.
Into our chakra system. And our physical bodies have many chakras, not just the 7 basic ones.
Yeah.
And these are all inputs of reality where they are inserting their agendas into us. And we're feeding our life force, our creative energy to them, rather than paying attention to what it is that we need to do.
Awesome. Yeah. By accepting their agenda, we're giving them our energy.
Yes.
This is good.
Absolutely. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And I hear people all the time defending it because they don't know any better and they don't want to take responsibility.
But I think that the reason why they're defending it, to be honest, is my personal view on the matter, is because they don't understand what freedom really is. And I think also people are afraid of freedom. Real freedom.
It's responsibility.
It's responsibility.
It's all on you. It is your decision. And most people want a handout. Like I said, I know many people that are on the dole, that are on public assistance. They're willing to stay there rather than bust a move. And they think that's it. And that is slavery, my friends. That is like one form of slavery.
Yeah, because most of the questions that I get when I talk about this type of freedom, which is more what I talk about a lot, is anarchistic freedom, so anarchy. And number one, people don't even understand what anarchy really is about. What they know about anarchy is what the let's say the government told them what anarchy is.
The hijacked version of anarchy. No,
yeah,
it's not chaos. It's not lawlessness. That's bullshit. Don't fall for it.
Don't fall for this. And so when I see people on the screen, go and throw things into the windows, breaking places, that is not anarchy. By the way, that is democracy, because that happens now. So this is,
and they are the powers that want to be. They are banking on us killing each other.
Yeah.
They're banking on us. The more that they can divide us, and so we're fighting, the better it is for them, because then they get to just sit back and watch us destroy ourselves.
Yeah, and plus
we're giving them ourselves.
Oh, so I have a question here. Eva said, Marja, can you tell us how you can get out of the matrix? That is basically a topic that we want to talk about most of the time. Well, not in part three,
It's actually good to talk about it now
but we
because
can
then we can practice it over the next,
few
yes,
episodes.
yes.
Yeah,
So the best way to come out of the matrix is the moment you get triggered and you want to sit there and fight and you want to sit there and make yourself wrong, you need to wake yourself up, see yourself, see where you are. Okay. And when you own your attention, you immediately exit the matrix and you enter into what's called our center screen. We have 3 attention screens. 3. The outer screen of the matrix, the inner screen in our heads, which is also the matrix, and our center screen, which is in between. When you enter into the center screen, you have control over your attention. That is control until the matrix hijacks you again with some stupid shit show that you think is more important than your creativity. So that's one of the ways that we can do it. In fact, the only way you can exit the matrix is by owning your attention. This is what's called the spiritual practice of spiritual awakening and enlightenment. New age bullshit and other, guru bullshit artists, religious bullshit artists keep telling us that we have to suffer and that only special people are awake. Bullshit. It's not true. Being spiritually awakened is our natural divine state. We're just hijacked. We've just had our hijacked attention for millennia, and New Age bullshit says it's a one-off event. It's not. It's constant, which is why the moment you get triggered, use that as an alarm to wake up.
to wake up. Yeah.
Before you do anything, before you say anything to anybody, wake yourself up.
Yeah.
Before you have a conversation with your beloved, that's tricky. Wake yourself up. Own your attention so that you're not, going off into some trauma-based mind control past that's trying to tell you that you are something else other than divine.
Yeah. So the way I see it is like this. It's like kind of like the everything you get from the 5 senses, right? I would always say stop, relax, think first. Don't let what you hear, what you see, and what you even feel determine everything. So and especially from institutions like the government, the religious institutions, those kind of institutions, they are even evil in their conception. So I will talk about why they are like this maybe later, but they are evil even in their conception.
It's the platform for the elite families all
Yeah.
over the planet
To
who want to keep hijacking the planet.
Yeah.
And growing the world and the matrix. Okay, the more of us that exit the matrix and owning our attention, we're going to grow and repopulate the true quantum field creation field universe. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's when life gets really, really fun, because that's when you get to practice waltzing in and out of the matrix. Going to a store and going to a grocery store or getting supplies. Everybody, every one of us in the matrix is playing a role in our specific movie. Now, if you consciously pick the movie that you want to live, that is hijacking the matrix. And when you learn how to hijack the matrix conforms to your rules and regulations. And that's when shit gets really interesting.
That's something.
That, and it's kind of fun. Every now and again, I'll get some fucking pushback. My old YouTube channel, for instance, I had a YouTube channel for 9 years. And there was a time where I was pushing it. And then finally, they got me. And they took everything down. So 9 years worth of videos
Gone.
Gone. Because what was I doing? Instead of waltzing in and out of the matrix, I was pushing up against all the shit I didn't like about the matrix. And when you do that, when you start doing that shit, anything you push up against, what you're going to do is you're going to incur. I want everybody to listen to this. You are going to incur, because you are energy, basically. You are going to incur excess potential energies and balancing forces. They will come wreck your shit. They will come wreck your shit. And that's
Because
what
you're still in it.
wrecked my shit. So
Because,
what we need to do is we need to learn how to waltz in and out of the matrix and the true quantum field, creation field universe stealth. It means you allow the matrix and all the zombies, all the sleeping people, including all the shit you don't like, government, religion, your family, all the shit stems, as I call it, you allow them to be as they are. Okay, because that's one of the laws of the universe. You allow everything to be as it is. It deserves to exist, like it or not, and allow yourself to be different. You focus on what you need to do. Do not focus on what's going on. That is part of the powers that want to be, wanting to hijack our creativity by getting us to go to war with each other because we're paying attention. Why are they doing that? They shouldn't be doing that. It's like, fuck off. Mind your own fucking business. That's one of the best ways to stay out of the fray of divide and conquer, is to just let it be. Don't watch the news. Don't pay attention. Is it good to understand the shitstems that are the controllers within the matrix? Absolutely. But when you focus on that, you're going to get more of a divide. And I did it for decades. And shit came after me, So here I am. I'm just tired. I'm old. I want to have a good time now, So I'm paying more attention to what it is that I want to create, which is why my work of not just deactivating trauma, but really mentoring everyone to own their true divine selves and to own their attention and exit the matrix. That is my real reason for being, and I don't have to push up against the matrix to make my point, because we all have our stories of suffering. We all have our stories where we're just like, what the fuck is happening? And that these are triggers to get us to pay attention, because something is off. And when you know something is off, that is the divine within you
telling you,
going, hey, pay attention. Pay attention. I'm trying to speak to you. Wake up.
Yeah. I just want to comment a little bit on the part that you said that when you learn how to get out in and out of the matrix, it's going to be fun, because then you decide how things are going to play out for you. Exactly. So this is something that I told the audience as well in my previous 2 podcasts, is that, okay, so collectively we are allowing this matrix, but basically, and this is like the problem of, not the problem, the challenge with it all, is that we have to start as yourself personally. So you have to focus on the things that you do wrong, the understanding that you have wrongly. So these things are first that needs to be removed, right? And then you will be a person, an agent of change. You don't have to push against it. You just need to say no. This is what you say. Don't push it. Yeah, don't push it. Just say no. I'm not going to do
that. Say, step away from the vehicle. Move along. There's nothing to see here. Just with the what? I mean, let's just pick the latest shit show with Ukraine, or the latest shit show, the various iterations of 719. Yeah. Okay, we don't want anyone to talk about it. I don't pay attention to that shit. I don't, and people get in my face. You should pay attention to it. I go, no. Wow. I have other important things that I need to do that is better for me and better as far as inspiring people to be who they are, not what the matrix tells them they are.
Yeah.
We're not victims. We can choose to do that. And by waking up, you actually move from victim to victorious.
Yeah, because basically what they're doing is that they're portraying like everybody was before this. Everybody was against the people who didn't vaccinate. I mean, this is the narrative that I saw. Like this is the pattern. Like no, the people who don't inject, oh, they are evil. These are the evil people because they don't want us to be. And then there is no way, no place. They are telling you, look, the pharmaceuticals, they're not going to make you healthy, because the moment that they make you healthy, no business for them. Okay, so they don't have the solution. The solution is what you put in your body.
Exactly.
Nowhere,
Individual. It's individual. This is the danger of trauma-based mind control and of the left, right, center paradigm, is that this is what I've noticed. Every group that claims to be woke, okay, turns into a totalitarian fucking shit show that I want to get the fuck out of and not have anything to do, because it's my way or the highway. Vegan versus carnivore. Oh my God. Hello.
Yeah.
I can't take it. I can't. This is my thing. My body, my choice. Fuck off. It's none of your fucking business what I do, just like it's none of my business what the fuck you do. You are in charge of your immune system.
Yeah. So and then you will have to find out for yourself what works for your body. That's why this show is called Eigen. You have to find out for yourself. We only show the way, but you have to choose what is right for you, because this is your body. It is your immune system. Other people cannot tell you what you have to do with them. It's not smart to follow. You have to get the information for yourself. Dig into that information, and then look how your body feels. Because this is one of the things as well that I said. That's the one thing. And now the narrative changed to Putin. Like Putin is now like the devil. And I ask myself, what about the anti-vaxxers? Like they're not the devil anymore. So this is like a fun. This is how they keep pushing us from what.
If your attention gets hijacked with any of the shit that's out there, it's like I can't take it a lot of the times. All right. So for me, as an empathetic person, this is my point about releasing your attention from the matrix, because the matrix uses our empathy, our concern for their psychopathic demonic means to get us to either give up or to keep fighting, or to once again be more and more and more and more divided and away from our focused attention of what it is that we are here to create. Okay. Because as infinite loving awareness and consciousness having a human experience, all of us, whether we're in or out of the matrix, our purpose is to exit the matrix and create formless
experience.
Form.
So
that's what we're here to do. Each one of us has a creative masterpiece in your own special, unique way that needs to be expressed. And the more you do that, oh my God.
Yeah. So what Marja is saying is that even though you are aware of it or not, right, you are a creative force. Okay. So every choice you make basically leads to a result. So this is like the cause and effect, kind of like a law of nature, a natural law. So everything you do, right, even now that you're watching this show, is a choice. Everything you have a choice to go left or to go right. It's a duality reality that we are living in. So we are a creative force. So if you do it consciously or and this is the beauty of the matrix, because they are so hijacking our mind with shit, make us make choices, and then you create the world that you see around you, which is garbage. So this is how you, and that's what I tell people. It's just not that difficult to understand, Marja, that the majority of people think garbage, because the result that we get with the choices that we make is all garbage.
Yes.
So and that is the reason why it is so. So Marja, I was interested because I I didn't finish your book yet, but I was going through it a little bit, and you talked about a lot about different topics in it. You talked about the matrix basically, like this is the idea I get about your book. But I want you to talk to me a little bit about your book as well. What inspired you to go, to come to that? Because the book is, I like the title, Fucked Wide Open. You talked about the traumas that you went through, but very briefly. I didn't. Now you give us even more information
Yes.
in the book.
Yes.
So I just want you to tell the audience as well what the book is all about.
The book, especially the title. Okay, so the title is a little bit of a play on words. My main intention is to use the word "fucked" because it is so descriptive about, and it can either be really good or really bad, as we know.
Yeah.
I mean, the sort of contextual definitions in English and in other languages are like it's very, very descriptive.
Yeah.
But my point with the book is that we all have a story. We all have certain traumas, certain events that really fucked us up. I mean, there are some people that had pristine, beautiful lives. I don't know that many of those people. Okay, I don't. But the challenges that we rise up to have the ability to either demolish us completely or get us to step up to the challenge and turn that challenge into light,
to beauty, to
something very, very beautiful. And we all have this the kernel of the divine, the spark of the divine, the spark of the creator that helps us tell that story. Whether you tell that story to a gazillion people or just one person, that one person is going to benefit. That's the inspiration to move into that place of expansion rather than contract and to disappear into the oblivion of the matrix as a victim and as a slave. And so for me, a lot of the terrible things that happened to me, I had to reframe a lot of it. I had to do a lot of processes to recapitulate. I think that's the word. Recapitulate my negative experiences and seek the advantage in every shitty, fucked up, horrifying, violent thing that's ever happened to me.
So how did you
strength, whether it's consciousness, whether it's to know I'm never fucking doing that shit again, or I'm gonna say no, or I'm gonna probably knife that person. I mean, I'm not advocating that, but in my case, I had to stand up to some bullies and learn how to defend myself. So and I'm small, I'm very, very small woman. So, there are lessons in each of these traumas that we can seek the advantage and the benefits from that will move us out of the matrix, intricate web shit show of victim consciousness and slave mentality so that we are the victor.
Yeah. So if I read your story, for me, it's like I see elements, and I think everybody can relate to that. I see elements of my own life in there. I wasn't abused like the way you are talking about, but I think going to school is a form of abuse.
Oh, completely.
Yeah. So like the way they indoctrinate your children, they are using a like I say, a German-based way of like the one person in front of the classroom telling the students what is truth, okay, and then the students cannot say, "Hey, I'm thinking critically. What you're saying doesn't make any sense." The students can do that because if they do that, they're gonna fail, and if they fail, there is no diploma. So basically, the diploma is an indoctrination. Like a indoctrination sign or a indoctrination. So if people come to me, I have HBO of higher college degrees, university degrees. For me, it's more like, okay, so like this is the, just tell me this is the level of indoctrination that you went through. The question is, did you came out of it? You know.
Yes.
So I no, but I love the way that you say, okay, you know what, you can take shit like we have right now, and then you can turn it into something good. Yeah,
Yes.
but it takes willpower from the person.
Yes. It is a choice to stop suffering. Stop
Yeah,
suffering. And that's
explain
the whole
that.
thing with the Matrix is that people want to stay in the Matrix because they like their dramas. They like their dramas. They like their traumas. They get to weaponize their dramas and traumas and blame other people, get free money because they're victims. I mean, on and on and on. Now, I am not minimizing anybody's traumas. No,
No,
not at all. But it is a choice to get the fuck out of there and move on instead of staying there. It's
yeah,
one of the reasons why I don't like therapy, because most of the therapists that I know, I'm sorry, they don't have their shit together. They want you to talk about it again and again and again. They don't give you tools to get the fuck out of that mindset of victimization and let's talk about it again. Fuck off.
yeah,
I
yeah. They
don't
only
want
want
to
to
talk
talk
about
about
it
it.
anymore. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about what do we want to create, or if you're going to talk about it, create a teaching that is going to lead people
Out.
out. That's
Yeah.
what I say, you know?
Yeah, that's yeah, but like I always said, these people are not there to help us. They are just there to
They're agents of the
basically
Matrix.
they are agents. They are there to keep us there. I mean, in the fourth Matrix movie, they didn't talk about it yet, but I'm just giving a little bit of the information already. The fourth movie, this I think one of these agents was also a shrink. So he was talking to Neo, and he's not helping Neo. In fact, he's giving Neo more bullshit, more and more bullshit, so Neo can stay in that
Yeah,
fucking state,
yeah,
in the
exactly.
zombie state. You know,
Exactly.
this is the problem. So we became zombies because there is no connection to our heart. They remove that. They are removing it in every fucking way imaginable. They are removing it from the TV, telling people what do you call it, lies, but they are also removing it by because a lot of people are, when I talk to them in Holland or in Netherlands, or in on the islands, they always say, yeah, but as long as we are, like yesterday I was talking to one of my own family members, and I say, yeah, but you cannot change the world alone. Yeah, yes, you can. You have, because you believe that you can change it
You
for us
have
to
to
be
change
great.
your own world first.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere, and then you
Yeah,
start changing yourself, and then that will contribute automatically to changing the world. But
yes,
it has to start somewhere to
yes,
you, with you doing
yes.
shadow work. And so, how was that experience with you? I have one question here. How can you get to the creative state? Do you have to heal your traumas? Oh, okay. So that's a nice
Okay,
question.
so this is a very good question because there are two ways to do this. Okay, one of the best ways to get to your creative state, I love the process of journaling. Okay. Taking a notebook, a pen, pencil, and just going to town about what it is that you want in your life. What do you want to create under all the various categories, whether it's health and body, spirituality, relationships, wealth and prosperity, your environment. So that's one of the first things is to give yourself permission to write down all the things that you want to create and manifest in your up leveled life. Okay. Because the current frame of reality, your current life, it's a done deal. You cannot change it because it's based on your past thinking, your past doing, your non choices, your emotional traumas, etc. Now, so how do you heal your traumas? So, okay, you could do the trauma deactivation work, which is very slow, it's very painstaking. So that's a possibility. Whether you do it yourself, There's ways to do it. There's methods of energy work that you can find for free online, and you could do it yourself. You could do it with a friend that you trust. You can work with a trauma a trauma healer. You could work with me if you like, or and we're going to talk about this down the line, where I'm going to introduce the tool of quantum jumping your reality by waking yourself up, into your awareness center, exiting the matrix, and going to what I call the film archives. The film archives, and we're going to talk about reality down the line and what it is and what it isn't, okay? Because reality has been hijacked. Its definition has been hijacked. But what I'm talking about fast tracking and going directly to the film archives of all that is known and yet to be known and will ever be known. And you can actually choose a specific outcome of your life of a certain category. You can choose all categories, but its manifestation, its materialization is predicated on your ability to focus, your ability to own your attention, so that all that creativity of your attention gets focused into that changed film reel of your life that allows it to manifest. Okay. But if the matrix has got you hijacked with this drama and that drama and this and that and the other thing, that creative energy and focus will be diluted. Okay.
So what you're saying is that
practice.
So what you're saying, Marja, is that, like, okay, so if I have a trauma, because I think that is where Farida's going. She has, like, let's say that she's not the one having the trauma. She knows someone that has the trauma. Okay. How can we go from that trauma-based state to a healed life without so what you're saying is that just remove the focus from there?
Remove the focus from the trauma. Move into, I think one of the best places to start is self-forgiveness and forgiveness of the perpetrator, because you want to remove yourself from any kind of polarity, any kind of split, because you want to integrate your energy, your creative energy. It can't be going to the past or the future or this or that. It has to be completely laser focused toward what it is that you want to create. That's one of the ways that you can start doing that. Moving into self-forgiveness, moving into forgiveness. It's powerful work, and it's free. Okay. And once you start doing that, you actually give yourself permission to view your life from a very elevated, high level way that has nothing to do with any trauma. It has to do with what it is that you want, knowing as a divine creative being, having a human experience in the true quantum field creation field universe. You intend, it is given. And your main concern, really, and this is very, very simplified reality creation, is the focus and the clarity on what it is that you want, why you want it. Okay. The who's going to help you, the when it's going to happen, the how it's going to happen. Okay.
Leave that.
Are none of your fucking business. Get
No.
out of the way. Okay. And it's very interesting, because when you start thinking about the trivium, the trivium talks about, you've got the grammar, you've got logic, you've got the rhetoric. So in grammar, you've got the who, the what, the where,
and why,
and the logic, you've got the how, or no, is it the why? It's the why or the how?
Why and how as well, or both, all of them.
And then the rhetoric is all the hows it's going to happen. Okay. So in many ways, that keeps us trapped. Okay. Is it a good way to learn? Yes, it is. It's a good way to learn how to think with clarity, how to form sentences in whatever language you're speaking in, but also how to track when you're being manipulated by a matrix shitstorm that is trying to tell you, no, it's like this. and you are wrong, and you don't get to say otherwise. And that is a lot of the main problems, is that most of the sleeping humans in the Matrix want to deflect their own inner authorship, their authority, and give it up to the so-called experts. You know, whatever that expert is. It's like, you know, it could be your husband for all that matters. It's like, no.
So basically what you're saying is that people have to start thinking for themselves, and there is no other choice. I mean, I know that they present you with other choices, like the Matrix present you. You don't have to think for yourself. We can do it. We are the experts.
Just check the box that appeals the most. It's like, no, don't do it. You know. So I think one of the fun ways to start thinking creatively about your lives, my loves, is to like really start thinking about, you know, really what is it you want. Give yourself permission. You know, quite often, you know, I will pose the question when I'm working with someone, if you weren't so afraid, what would you do? You know? So I ask myself that question when I'm, you know, kind of back in some kind of like mind loop where I can't get myself out of it and I'm losing consciousness. I catch myself, oh shit, I was snoozing, you know, because it happens all the time. Being awake and spiritually awakened is not a one-off event. It's constant, because there are too many things in the Matrix that are trying to hijack our attention, you know, to be traffic hijacking your attention. You have to pay attention to it. So that's one of the ways that I tend to like lose it, is that. But giving yourself permission to, you know, think, dream, put forth on a piece of paper. There's so much power in receiving the input of what your creative leanings are. Receiving that information, dropping it down your arm, whether you're typing it into your computer or you're writing it on a piece of paper. Okay. By doing that, you are actually moving your creative energy closer and closer and closer to its materialization. Okay. And you get to refine whatever those words are, whatever that is, whatever that vision is, over a period of time, which is why there's a time lag between knowing what we want and receiving what we want, intending, and then receiving it. There's a time lag, okay, because there's a mode of clarification that happens.
Yeah, because I always say that if you want something, if you even visualize it, even you know precisely how it is. Be as specific as possible, but as well when you have to understand this cause and effect in the materialistic world.
Yes.
So basically in the spiritual world, you already have it, but it needs now to manifest itself.
Yes.
And that means that there will be needing people with skills that comes to your aid. You have to maybe do something in your own self that needs to be done, so that that thing that you want can go and, you know, come down and manifest itself. Yes. Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you on that part. And I personally, I find it for myself that that which kind of like catapult this whole manifestation thing is care, like the love.
Yes.
The more you care, like
that is our seventh sense, is our generosity and care. Our sixth sense is our intuition, and our seventh sense is our generosity and care, which is twofold. It's the divine masculine principle of gifting, giving, and self-defense, okay? And the feminine principle of receiving, okay?
Yeah.
And also the non-aggression principle. All right. So we have both those. That represents mother, father, child. It's the Holy Trinity is care. Knowing that you are a divine being, and so is everybody else for that matter. Okay.
Yeah. So Marja, it was so much love that you came here. I enjoyed talking to you. Our time is up. 1 hour and 10 minutes
All
already.
right. So much fun. This is so
It
much
was
fun.
fun talking to you. I don't want to take too much more of your time. We're gonna have Marja, guys. We're gonna have Marja 3 more times on the show. I think you guys are gonna get acquainted to her. But I want to keep it to 1 hour so we can have it also on other platforms as well, except like TikTok and the other platforms as well. So Marja, do you have something to tell the audience before we go?
I love you all, and you guys are having a really wonderful teacher in Glenn. I can't give him enough kudos and props because he is awesome. He has your backs, he has your hearts, he has your souls, he's got your bodies. It's very, very good work that you all are doing, and I encourage you to have fun. Have fun doing this. We have enough seriousness in the matrix as we do our daily lives, and we're going to learn together how to be able to turn it around and allow the matrix to actually serve us.
Serve us, yeah, because that's the goal. They have to serve us, not us them. So thank you again, Marja. Honored.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
I love your divine. I call it a divine feminine energy. I love it. Zo mensen, dankjewel voor alles. Ik was vandaag weer met Marja West. Ik vind het echt heel leuk om met haar te praten. Dus we zullen haar nog 3 keer in de show krijgen. Ja. Dus thank you, sis. Hey, thank you, Marja. Thank you for your knowledge. Have a nice evening.
On Facebook. You can find me on Facebook too.
Ja, inderdaad. Je kan Marja West even intoetsen op Facebook. Ze heeft 200, right? 200 plus podcasts. So you can listen to them. They're all like kind of like 10 minutes, which I love because this is like power messages that you give everybody even, but also the feminine people, because the feminine, the woman in the world needs to get back. The care that they have needs to be on the right place. And I think really from the bottom of my heart that you have that care on the right place. This is all woman has to have like kind of like a example in you. I would love to do that. Thank you for the light that you bring. Thanks for your light, zeg je. Ja, so mensen, dankjewel. Het was weer voor vandaag. Vandaag een korte show. Eindelijk bijna een uur wel, maar het is 10 minuten zeg maar overgegaan, maar het is wel bijna een uur. Nou, dankjewel voor alles. Oké, bedankt voor het luisteren. We zien elkaar weer volgende week. Dag Farida.
Otro pica pica currita.
Pica pica currita, aquí no tem protocolo, no saca vivira. Pica pica currita. Pica pica, pica pica. Pica pica currita, aquí no tem protocolo, no saca vivira.